funky beat. Sun is shining, Rachel brings the heat. Wake up CEO, we're on repeat. Chicago, Sun Up City on the go. Rachel L. Gary on the radio. Tune in quick, hear the power flow. Wake up CEO, it's your daily show. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. From the Windy City, bringing major vibes. Rachel on the mic, keeping lives revived. Radio Chicago, where dreams arise. Wake up CEO to the skies. No more snooze button, no more delay. Rachel's voice making waves today. Feel the energy Chicago way. Wake up CEO, rise and sway. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Hey, Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill.
This is Dr. Carolyn Stevens, the CEO of the BHC Media Group. And when you are looking for a strategy for self-leadership, get aligned with Wake Up CEO with host Rachel L. Gary every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
You know what time it is? Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary in the building. Wake up, CEO, let's go! Wake up, go Sam, set that tone. Wake up, every step you take, you claim that throne. Wake up, no more doubt, no time to stall. Wake up, boss up now, go get it on. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, I ain't waiting, now I go and take it. Built this from the ground, no way they break it. Consistency, my secret, watch me make it. Got that boss talk, nah I ain't faking no. Look, set the goal, now I'm grabbing the goal. And put in the work, now I'm taking control. The vision so clear, yeah I already know. Every step I take, I'm ready to blow. Wake up, set that tone. Every step you take, you claim that throne. No more doubt, no time to stall. You boss up now, go get it all. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. No handouts, yeah I made my way. Built my brand, now I paved my lane. I turn my losses into lessons. Now my grind got no recession. Yeah, they talk about chance, but I make my own. Yeah, I ain't waiting for fate, got a future to own. Yeah, every setback, just part of the game, game. But now I'm up and they know my name. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up. Success so sexy, put the work in flexi. Late nights, no rest, but now my vision's hefty. They doubted, they laughed, now they watch from the back. Cause I turned every dream into bricks that stack. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, go get it all. Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary taking you to the top. Boss up, boss you, boss up now, go get it all. Yeah, every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago.
Hey there, CEOs. Welcome to Wake Up CEO. I'm your host, Rachel L. Gary, and this is your 2-hour power-packed wake-up call to step into your full potential. You know what my mission is, guys. It's to speak candid truth to empower your inner CEO. That's the one that is clear in your actions, empowered by your choices, and owning your direction. So CEOs, I hope you guys are ready. Buckle in. Question of the day. Are we progressing or are we just busy? So is there progress or are we just busy, guys? Which one? So I want to make sure at the end of the day that we stay focused on Wake Up CEO. So can you see progress or is it just busy? And you know what we do on Wake Up CEO? We dive right in. Question the power statement. I want you guys to stay locked in first to the power statement of the day. Also, the Author's Corner that is powered by Distinguished Authors Guild, where your literary excellence is celebrated. And stay locked in for that leadership 3-point play that's powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-growth gets GPS. So let's dive right in. The power statement of the day. Goals without checkpoints are daydreams on delay. You know what that pause means, guys. If you're new to Wake Up CEO, that pause means I want you to take an opportunity to take that information in and let it resonate with you. So the first part of the show, as you guys already know, is about being clear, the C in CEO. So are we in motion and are we measuring movement? We're going to dive into what that means. So do we have a to-do list of things that are keeping us busy? Or are we making executed strategic steps towards achieving a specific goal? That's all right. I want you guys to get ready, get locked in. So if you guys are listening to this live, I'm going to also be jumping in from the chat. We got people who are locked in on the chat who are going to be speaking a little information, and I want to make sure that we get them in as well. So from the chat, we have Sharice Sloan of Highly Productive Chicago online saying, hello, CEOs. We have Bruce Logan saying, let's go, CEOs, from Monk E Media. And we have my wife checking in, Mrs. Gary, who is the CEO of everybody in the family. She runs all of us, regardless of what people might say or think. I thank you guys for checking in. So as we are discussing about do we have a long to-do list? Or are we focused and strategically watching what we're doing? And let's dive into why that's important. Now, it starts with how you define the win. So if you're looking to grow and develop and you have a goal in mind, you have to understand how are you defining when you're winning. If you're not checking your progress, how you know if you're winning? As I said, guys, I want y'all to hear that pause. And that pause just means I want you to check in with yourself and make sure at the end of the day, are you aligned with those goals, aspiration, those dreams, those intentions, whatever way you're utilizing to say moving forward and forward progress? Because I hope that's what we're doing. And if you're tuning in to Wake Up CEO, I know that's all you know we're doing over here. Because only what we do on Wake Up CEO is we're talking about growth and development and success. That's all that's going on over here on Wake Up CEO. And all the CEOs online, that's all we in there. So we have Gina, the CEO of Distinguished Authors Guild, checking in, saying, drop those nuggets, sis. I appreciate you, Gina, for checking in. So, guys, be prepared. I want to make sure I break this in since we got her online. So, starting in August for the Distinguished Authors Guild Author's Corner, there will be a special guest, and every week in August, from August to November, there will be an author who is a nominated author for Distinguished Author Guild. I'm going to be the first to say something. I am a nominated author for both my books, Forged in Fire, as well as hashtag Poverty to Six Figures. So I am a nominated author I am calling into existence, winning the award in 2 categories. Sorry, fellow authors, but I'm taking those 2 categories down. So, hey guys, if you don't believe in you, who else believing in you? The belief has to start with you. So, from August to November, there will be a different author on for the Author's Corner. So currently, from the chat, Sharice checks in. Honestly, I feel like I'm just busy. Progress requires intentional effort and measurable results. Let's take a step back, reassess our goals, and make sure our actions are aligned with what truly matters. That was a whole statement. I appreciate your candidness and your honesty. Now, what we have to do for that is figure out how do we flip that from being busy to being intentional. And I'll use something that happened to me this week. Over this last week, I was busy and I wasn't intentional. And what I realized that I wasn't focused. Now I am the creme de la creme of staying focused and driven on my goals. But this week, I was focused on someone else's goals. But it's okay that I was focused on the goals, but I had lost sight of what my intentions are. How many times has that happened to you? If you listen live, just think to yourself, how many times have you caught yourself, you're taking care of someone's bills, you're helping someone out with something, you're over at someone else's house, you're taking phone calls at all times of the night, you're at a party that you're asking yourself why I'm not home getting some rest. How many times are you showing up and showing out for someone else, but you are not showing up and showing out for you? I'm going to let that pause to sink in for a minute, CEOs. Because I'm going to tell you what I realized. What I realized is that I had allowed myself to get involved with another person's business, and I had started allowing my business to not take precedence. It was okay to help a friend. It's okay to help some people out, and it's okay to provide insight, provide guidance. It's okay for all that. But it's not okay to forget about the main purpose and my main person who you have to be aligned with. You. I was pouring from an empty cup for a moment. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I reset. I meditated. Took me some moments to Rachel L. Gary. As this is what you should do for you as well. I took some moments, reset my expectations, got back aligned. Now this week, I am back on track. And it's okay that sometimes those things happen. But if I wasn't assessing, so let's go back. If I wasn't assessing progress, or if I was just looking to be busy, I could fill my calendar up with a lot of busy work. There's a lot of things I could do to stay busy. Am I productive? Does it move me closer to my goal or further away? And if you follow me on Facebook, I put a post out there, and I usually talk about posts I put out there because everything I do is very centered around growth and development. I'm the same person online, off a line, and around the way. So I'm not dropping in a group and being someone else. This is who Rachel L. Gary is every day, all day, continuously. So I put a post out there, the 3 things my 3 goals. And how I align everything with those 3 things. Being someone my kids are proud of, being the best spouse possible to my wife, and making sure that I help 100,000 people find success in their CEO lives. So everything I do is centered around those 3 things. Did you see how quick I was able to tell you what my goals were? I don't need a sheet of paper. And over time, you'll get to a place where they're so embedded in you that you'll be able to recite them just as quickly, if not quicker, which means that you're able, let me break it down to why I know them so well. I'm able to assess when things don't align with those three things quickly, because I don't have to go look them up. So if something's going on and it does not align with those three goals, I ask myself the question, why am I involved with it? I'm pausing so you can think. If you have things in your life that you're involved with or you're doing and you're asking yourself, does this even have anything to do with my goals? Helping a friend can be part of your goals. If you're looking to be a person who can always be counted on, if that's a goal that you have and that you're stepping into that and that's moving you closer to it, then that's fine. But you must have some benchmarks. You must have a clear vision. Scattered thoughts, guys, do not hit targets. If you have no idea what you're doing and why you're doing it, you're just walking around scattered. If you have to ask yourself 2 days later, what was I doing back there? And what did that have to do with what I have going on? You have to assess your everyday actions, your activities, your thoughts. We put in a lot of work to do things that don't make any difference in our lives. What's a little bit of work for things that make a huge difference in yours? I'm gonna let that sit in while we jump into the comments. We got Bree, we got Lady Red, the producer, in the building. Lady Red, hey guys, I want to make sure I give her a complete shout out. Lady Red did some behind the scenes footage at my event on June 15th. Man, those pictures were excellent. And not only was the pictures excellent, the vibe was excellent. There were some excellent people in the room. Everyone's energy level was up. I felt rejuvenated. I felt that I was being poured into while I was pouring out. Hey, that's the kind of environments I love to be in. And I thank Lady Red for capturing those moments and putting those videos out. So if you guys haven't seen, look at the recap. There's a couple of recaps on my page, and not even my recap yet, guys. My recap isn't even out there yet. So I appreciate all the people who had a good time, and not just a good time, whereas we just hung out. We had some deep, meaningful conversation. So, Lady Red, I appreciate you for coming out there and making sure that to add value to the event. Thank you. So we had Gina, she chimed in all the time. I know that's right. And Lady Red says, period, because that's what it's about, guys. We have to be honest and transparent with ourselves. Are you showing up, and are you watching how you showing up? So if you don't know exactly what success looks like, you'll chase noise, numbers, people, and things. What does your success look like? I want you to take a moment and think of that. What does success look like for you? Because when we have a dream, now I want to make sure I tell, because a lot of people say, well, I don't know what success looks like to me. That's fine. That's fine. Let me give you some little insight. When you start dreaming, have you noticed that when you dream of someplace you want to go or something you want to do, you always know where you want to go and that thing you want to do? Take that in. When you're dreaming about, hey, I want to go to Costa Rica, I want to go to the Bahamas, I want to go to Bali, I want to go to Korea, I want to go, all those places, there's a destination in mind. When you say you want to take a tour around the block, that's never on your plans. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? You never say in your mind, hey, I'm gonna take a tour around the block. But when you're saying, I want to go to Bali, I want to go to Dominican Republic, I want to go to Jamaica, I want to go to these places, those are destinations. But when you're touring around the block, that was not on your plan. Which means that that's mindless things that you're doing and doesn't move you closer to the goal of what you want to do. So every dream you have has a destination in mind. So if you know where you want to go, so let's say that you want to start a business and you're looking to start that business and get it all set up. So you're saying, I want to start the business and I want the business to have $1,000 in profit the first month. Now, $1,000 seems minute, but if you're spending all your money on the business and nothing's coming out of the business, $1,000 is a lot of money on a positive. I want y'all to check that out. If you make $100 over what you put into your business, you winning. Because there's many entrepreneurs out here who are pouring money into their business because they're not watching the numbers. They're not checking the balance. They're not watching and paying attention to the goal. The goal isn't to have a business, guys. The goal is to have a successful endeavor. You're the only one who can define what that success looks like for you. Now, I can say what success looks like for me. What success looks like for me for JTD KB Enterprises is that it is a $2 million company in the next 2.5 years. There are 3 different sectors of that company. And with those 3 different sectors, I have 3 different plans of action in those sectors. Now, I set benchmarks. Now, I'm speaking all this to you guys so you can have an understanding. I have benchmarks for each one of those things. So the plan, so I'll go right now. My goal for hashtag poverty to 6 figures is to sell 5,000 copies in the next 6 months. Now, when I set that goal, I immediately started setting benchmarks and putting together a plan. Because without a plan, you're still dreaming. Think about that, guys. If you have no plan, you're dreaming, you don't have a goal. So when I had a goal of selling 5,000 books of hashtag poverty to 6 figures, I put together a plan. And right now I'm building a team to help me execute a plan. I'm going to shout out one of them, Miss Mina the Brown Diva. I gave her a call, sent her an itinerary for a meeting. One more time, guys, I'm handling business, not business. So I sent her an itinerary along with the vision for 6 months. Because if you don't know where you're going, you can't get help along the way to take you there. And with anybody who's on Team Rachel L. Gary, I'm looking for them to grow as well. I'm pushing you out your comfort zone when you're working with me. Because I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Remember, if you guys are just new to hearing this, I love being uncomfortable. When I'm comfortable, I know that I have complacency. I know that I am not making money. What? When I'm comfortable, I'm not making money. I know that sounds counterproductive. For me, cognitive dissonance allows me to still stay focused. Now, when I'm in those motions of being uncomfortable, my uncomfortability is usually set because I don't know all the moving pieces. And when I don't know something, guys, I'm big on asking questions. I'm not afraid to ask questions. Anybody who watches me knows me. In my personal life, I will ask 100 questions to find out. One of my mentees, when we're talking about Sheree Sloan of Highly Productive, she'll tell you I ask 100 questions about what's going on. I don't say I know it all, but I say I'm very, very versed on the things that I do. Writing a book, the information in that book, leading, coaching, development, I got that. I know that. And there's still things in that arena I'm learning. Because right now, I wrote an award-nominated book. But in the next 4 months, we'll know if that, next 4.5 months, we'll know if that award-nominated book is an award-winning book. And you know, I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to know. I'm going to be talking about it from now until November. I'm excited. But by December 31st, because my goal isn't to win the award. I didn't write the book to win an award. I wrote the book to get 5,000 people. Now, I'm going to tell you why 5,000 people, guys. I talk about this a little bit, and I got to get my little calculator out. So, whenever there's 5,000 people, there's people in general who are thinking along the same terms. That means that energy radiates out to more people. So if 2 people are together, that means it radiates to 4 people. 4 people together, it means it radiates to 16 people. So the more people that have that information, it allows the neighborhoods, the blocks, the people in my circle, the people around me to be all radiating the same amount of energy. I'm looking for success in a community, in our community. The only way we have success in the community if there's enough like-minded people going towards the same goal of success. That's why 5,000 people. Because that hits 250,000 people. That's the radiation of 5,000 people with a book in their hands that I know that brings success. So it's not about selling the 5,000 books. It's about uplifting a community and uplifting people to have direction, uplifting people with information that they can utilize to better themselves and hire 5 other people to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what I was able to do with the information in that book. So that's what I'm thinking about when I say 5,000 people, how to allow that information to radiate to enough individuals for us to have success, real success, not fake success, driving a nice car, but still renting, having a $2,000 chain, but still sleeping on mom's couch, having 20 pairs of Jordans, but don't have $2,000 in the bank. Buying from the corner store as opposed to being able to go into a market and buying fresh foods. That's a mindset, guys. So my goals are clear. I can measure them. I just dropped off copy number 50 in the mail on Monday. So I'm measuring it. I have a mastermind group of individuals who we're going to be going over chapter by chapter of the book. You'll catch us starting in August. I'll let you guys know which day. It'll be the first Tuesday. I think currently is the first Tuesday in August. And we'll be sitting down online going over chapter 1 of the book. Get your copy because we're going over chapter 1. And we're going to talk about our goals, the things that we're doing on chapter 1. We're not going chapter 1 and then we're going to jump to chapter 5. We're going step by step. Because with step by step by step, you can measure. So for 10 months, we're going to get online every Tuesday and have a conversation about hashtag poverty to 6 figures. Thank you for the volunteers who said yes to the calling. They got a copy of the book. People who already have a copy, they can still sign up. Bruce, if it's possible, can you drop that link in the chat for the jot form? Please, if you already have a copy of hashtag poverty to 6 figures and you are looking to work in a mastermind where we are going to go through every chapter of the book, I'm going to answer questions live, and we're going to find and locate success together. Please hit that link, and we will go over your application and let you know if you have made it into the mastermind circle. You guys who already got the book, you're already part of the CEO circle. So thank you guys for that. So as we're getting clear, you have to plan, pace, and perform. So your strategy first, your calendar second, your execution last. Busy is loud, strategy is lethal. Come on, guys. Have you guys been, how many spy movies have you guys seen? If the spy told you what the spy was getting ready to do, it would be no need to watch the movie. Now, as always, in the beginning of every movie, there's a goal. You hear it in the very beginning. The goal is to do X, Y, and Z to the bad guy and to win the day. So to win the day of your goals, so you can know how to reach the goal, you have to have a strategy. That's when you actually have your goal down and you got some steps, you get your strategy. And your strategy will change as you learn more. Your calendar is second, because we're not trying to fill up the calendar with things to do. You're filling up, the only thing should be on your calendar are strategic moves. If something is on your calendar, it's strategically moving you closer to your goal. And the goal is gold. It's being golden, checking in. The third part of being clear is accountability equals acceleration. When you are accountable to your measured moves and you do a check, you do a reset, you go back and you look at your goals and you're like, okay, today I did A, B, C, and D. I strategically said I was going to do A, B, C, and D, but I didn't do A or B or D. I did B and C, and I had some other things I had to do. I'm going to come to it from this way. When you say yes to something, you say no to something else. So if you said yes to having lunch and it wasn't on your plans, it's okay. You said yes to going out for lunch, not having lunch, going out for lunch. And your go out for lunch was 2 to 3 hours. You had a good time. You had a great conversation. You did some things, but those things were not aligned with the plan of the day. And you come home and you're like, okay, I did A and B. I mean, A and D. I didn't do B and C. And you take that off your list. If those 4 things were going to move you closer to your goal, you only got halfway through. Now, I'm not saying squish all those things into the next day or squish all those things into the end of the day. It's a way, what I'm speaking about is assessing where you're spending your time, where you're spending your energy, and if that energy and time aligns with your purpose and your goals. And when you're accountable to you, because accountability isn't to another person, the accountability is to you. Yeah, I have an accountability partner. I'm gonna be honest. I have an accountability partner. I have an accountability partner, and I have a mentor. When I was a lead, trying to be, when I was a lead, growing into being a supervisor, growing into being a manager, I had training courses. When I was going from being a manager to a senior manager, I went to a couple of groups that were people who were already leaders. There was a training course as well, but it was part of a group. So as I grow, there's going to be information I don't know, which is why I have a mentor. My accountability partner is in place to make sure that I stay focused on my 6-month plan. So I sent when I finished my plan, which was right before my event. I sent her and him, because I have two. My apologies, guys. I have two accountability partners. They're holding me accountable to two different sides of my task. So I sent them both my 6-month target, which is still a goal. I mean, different names, same thing. And I sent them what 30 days of progress looks like to me. So every 30 days, I speak with both of them on different days, but they're on my calendar. Now they're on my calendar because that's information that's going to move me closer to my goal. So that's why accountability is very important to success. When you're first starting, your accountability to you is fine. As you start growing, you're going to notice that you're going to have more things that are going to come your way. There are going to be more distractions, more things that pop out, more obstacles. Because the more you grow, the more things that can go wrong, more things that are possible. The only thing that I focus on, and I employ you to focus on, is growth and how to make your dream, your goal, your intention possible. And if your accountability partners are not someone who's going to shake you, and let me tell you what, hey guys, I don't think I have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Somebody who's going to bring you back to reality. Somebody who's going to remind you that this is important to you. My accountability partner, Cynthia will tell me in a minute. That's one of my accountability partners. She's going to say, hey, you are so far off your target. What did you allow to get in your way? I'm going to lean back on that. Because let me tell you why she said it to me that way. Because we are accountable for everything in our life. That's that O and CEO. You're owning it. So when Cynthia, she gonna say it to me, it's gonna sound funny when she says it. And then I'm gonna be like, man, I let way too much get in my way. But that goes to where we're talking about in the beginning, where you have to assess. So I'm not gonna fall behind weeks. When I talk to her when I talk to her on the 16th of July, I will not be as far behind as I am today. Because I recognize when I did my assessment, I recognized that I was not on track. That's about being accountable to you. When you look at your goals and you're sitting down and you're like, okay, I want to buy a house in the next 8 months. And then you say to yourself, okay, because you got to be specific. I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with a backyard, full basement, area for a pool. If not, a pool is already included. That's you giving yourself instructions. Do you see how detailed that was? When you detail it out, you're giving yourself instructions of what you're going to get. So if you said in 6 months, month 1, you have not saved any money. Now we're going. So let's go positive. We're gonna go positive. I'm not even a negative person. Let's go positive. You saved $1,000. You've actually reached out to a loan officer to see how much money you're going to need. You've determined what the different type of loan products there are, so you know which loan product you're going for. You understand the pros and cons. So these are small tasks that you gave yourself throughout the month to make sure that you are moving closer to your goal. Because the goal is to have the house in 6 months. That 3-bedroom, 2-bath, full basement, backyard with a pool area, if not already with the pool. You're not settling for the 2-bed, 2-bath that's at $200,000. That's at $200,000 because the 3-bed, 2-bath that you want is at $300,000, and the loan officer said that you are only approved for $200,000. Because you're gonna get your research down in the beginning. So if you know you want 3-bed, 2 baths in a specific area, because you're gonna have to get those specifics down. Because when you're looking to reach a goal, the only way to reach the goal is to have all the information that is necessary, or all the information that you can get at the time to get closer to your goal. Otherwise, you're dreaming about having a house. If you're not in action, you're still dreaming. And it's all right to have a dream. It's okay. But when you're still having the same dream a month from now, a year from now, 7 years from now, that means no action was taken for the dream. It goes with the law of attraction. I've heard somebody was talking about the law of attraction. The law of attraction has a word in it: action. So what you call for, speak about, and move towards is yours. That's everything in life. So if I tell you here on Wake Up CEO that I want to sell 5,000 copies of #Poverty to 6 Figures because I'm looking to change the trajectory of a whole environment. So, but I don't talk about that anymore for another 6 months. You don't see any posts about it for 6 months. You didn't see me go to any events. You didn't see me talking to any leaders. You didn't see me at any libraries. You didn't see me at any book fairs. Was I in action towards that 5,000, or was I just dreaming about 5,000? So no matter what you're doing, you have to stay focused on being clear in what you're doing. So now that we're clear that you have to measure what you're trying to do, you have to plan, and you have to be accountable. So you define your win, you plan to win, and you stay accountable to your winning. That's being clear. And the second piece is empowerment. How we gonna do it? Because your discipline determines your data. So this is the empowerment piece. Your daily micro wins. 15 focused minutes on one task that moves your metric. 15 minutes. I spend 1 hour every single day looking at, hold on. I spend 1 hour a day with my mantra. Then I spend 5 minutes on the mantra. I spend 15 to 20 minutes collecting my thoughts of what my plans are for the day. I spend another 15 writing it down. Then I spend another 30 meditating to align myself to be focused on what I wrote. It's what in a book that I read many years ago. Hey, we got, look, guys, let me make sure we chime into the chat. We have Shatavia Gill, known as Shay from Higher Levels with Shay, in the chat. Exactly. I love this. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. And please drop in the chat, Shay, your new book. Guys, I got this book. So if you guys missed the event, I'm going to give you the brief, because I want to get back to being empowered. And Shay talked about being empowered on the event. Shay is a BSN who's currently in the process of now 6 weeks away from being Dr. Gill. She imparted some information to us about health and about healthy remedies of that are from the earth to help us find things that get rid of inflammation, things that allow us to line our bodies up better. So I got my copy of the book. I thank her so much. Thank you again, Shay. So I got my signed copy. I'll drop that picture on my page where she signed my copy of my book. So I've been flipping through the pages. So, and I'll be honest, I'm not one of these people who just flips, but her book is laid out in a way that it tells you where to go for certain things. So I was looking for some things about my, because I was diagnosed with arthritis about 10 years ago. And when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, I was concerned that I wasn't going to be able to walk by the time I was 50. So I had a master plan of making sure that I was aligned financially by the time I was 50. Now, I was reading the book and I found the remedy. So we had some turmeric and some other stuff. My wife made us a nice little potion. Now I'm taking it every day. I want to say that I don't like how it tastes, Shay. I want to make sure I say that. But I want to say that my knee has not cramped. So I take that as a win. And it might be psychosomatic, but God dog it, I'm happy that my psyche is now talking to my body and now it feels better. So thank you. I have a thanks to Shay for that. And thank you to my wife for making those concoctions. Now I got 24 of these concoctions in my refrigerator that I got to take every day. I still don't like how they taste, guys. But she put a little tangerine with it so it wouldn't be so bitter for me. And from the chat, we got Gina chiming in again. Good stuff. Woohoo! I love Shay. I promise you, Shay is a beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. If you guys missed, if you missed her talk in on hashtag poverty to six figures, breaking the chains, the game immersive event, guys, you can still check her out. She has higher levels with Shay in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Well, probably 8 to 9 weeks, because after she celebrates being Dr. Gill, her and I will be locking in and starting, and on Mondays having a podcast together. I am going to be so appreciative to be with and having great conversations with her on those Mondays when we start. I definitely let you guys know when that begins. But you want to tap in with her, so go to Higher Levels with Shay to check in, find out information about what she's doing, what's happening next, also about her book. Guys, you need a copy of that book, because modern medicine, hey, I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but I want to say that every time I see a commercial that talks about a new remedy that's out there, then I see a year or two later, sometimes 10 years later, if you took this blah, 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 you or your family member could have possibly been caused by XBB down the road. We want to make sure at the end of the day that we're putting good things in our body and we're paying attention to the things that are happening. And it's okay to get second and third opinions, but making sure that we get an opinion and not just taking fiction sometimes for fact. So I appreciate her chiming in. So and that goes to being empowered. When you have information, you can, when you're clear, you can then empower yourself to do something about things. So we were talking about those 15 minutes of focused thought. If you give yourself 15 minutes a day, I told everyone, I remind everyone in hashtag poverty the immersive event to give yourself 1 hour a day. You owe it to you. You spend 8 to 10 hours at a job. You spend 2 to 3 hours doing things with the kids. You spend an hour doing A, B, and C. You can give yourself 1 hour to have focused thought on your growth. How do you grow if you're not giving yourself the time and the focused energy to be the best version of you? Spend the time. Spend that time. It's okay to spend the time. You deserve the time. And guess what? That time's going to pay off tenfold. You spend that 1 hour today. 1 hour a day. Start tomorrow. This is not, okay, I'm going to do it on Monday. I'm going to do it next month. Start tomorrow. There's no time like the present to be present for your presence. It's okay. 1 hour a day. Sit down with your thoughts. Now, the first time you do this, it might be difficult. I'm a person whose mind is always racing. It's always racing. Okay, what am I doing? How am I doing? Am I still focused? Am I on my goals? Am I on track? But when I gave myself that hour, in the very beginning, guys, I want to tell you, in the very beginning, I was sitting like, whew, man, I can't do this. Okay, so I started trying to write all my stuff down real fast so I get to the next thing. The focus is for you to understand what you truly want and what you truly desire. That's what the focus is about. So you can be really aligned to understand what you truly want. The first thing someone usually says is, I want more money. What do you want the more money to do? So are you looking for the more money because you want to take more vacations? Are you looking for the more money because you want a bigger house? Are you looking for more money because you want a bigger car? Are you looking for more money because you want to do bigger and better things with your children? Or you're looking for more money so you can retire tomorrow? There's a reason that you want more money, not to just have more money. Because many people have, we in our lifetimes, we have millions, some hundreds of millions of dollars in our lifetime. Can you think about that? I was making over $100,000 a year for the last 10 years. That's $1 million, guys. Whether I had it all at once or a little at a time, that's $1 million. So we have the money. It's what we do with the money that helps us have more money. What information are we getting? What circles are we going in? What things are we doing? And are we moving forward with being empowered? That's about taking that hour a day, but 15 minutes, solid 15 minutes to get yourself to ask yourself a question. What do I really want? And put your 15-minute answer on paper. Do that for a week. 1 week. 1 week. Put it on the paper. And when you do that for 1 week, it'll change sometimes. Then when you give yourself 30 minutes a day and you start writing those same things down, they'll start getting closer to being the same. When you get to doing it an hour, it's going to be focused, and every time you write it down, it's going to be the same thought. Because as you give yourself instructions and ask yourself the questions, your brain is now thinking every day you're going to ask me this question. What is my answer? Then you'll nail it down to the one thing you really truly want. And then you can put together the action plan. So weekly self-audits. Now, this is what I was talking about in the beginning, guys, me doing a self-audit. Did my calendar reflect my priorities or other people's emergencies? Take that in, guys. Take it in. Did my calendar reflect my priorities or other people's emergencies? Now, I'm going to just make a quick statement. I have I have one of my siblings used to have an emergency every other day. I was jumping left to right. Assistant. Okay, I can help. Okay, I'll be over there. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, I got that. I spent more of my times with her emergencies than I did taking care of my business. That will allow me to have the money for in case I had an emergency. So you have to assess, is your life filled up with things that you intend to do? Or is it filling up with things that people are asking from you? This only person who can make that assessment is you. So if you check that weekly and you see more things on your calendar are people's emergencies, but not your intentions, I want you guys to shift. I'm not saying not help a friend, a family member with an emergency. Make it, if it's the same family member, because you'll assess. Because as you start assessing things that are going on, you'll notice, man, this person has called me 3 times this week. Now, things that are emergency to them might not even be an emergency to you. I don't got gas in my car. I'm going to give you some things. I don't have gas in my car. I need $20 because my rent is short. $100 my rent is short. I need $20 so I can buy food. Those are emergencies for that individual. But I got a question to ask you guys. If that person was being responsible, would they need the $100 for their rent? If that person was aligning their sales with their goals, would they need the $20 for food? When you ask yourself those questions, then you'll notice that a person's emergency is really a misalignment of their priorities. Take that in. Take it in, CEOs. And if there's a misalignment of their priorities, the misalignment of their priorities don't allow you to align your priorities. This is when you're starting to assess when you're doing a weekly audit of assessing the things that you spent your time on this week. If you spent your time hanging out and that wasn't beneficial to your bottom line, your cause, your goal, should you hang out less next week, or should you add another day of hanging out? You're the only person who can assess that. So, and the last thing for empowerment is to have monthly momentum meetings. Celebrate your wins. Correct the gaps. Reset strict targets. Repeat relentlessly. Your growth depends on you having a clear vision of what it looks like for you. Celebrate when you made a win. So you're not going to knock the fact that when you have your monthly conversation or your monthly check-in with your goals, your accountability partners, or however that you're laying it out, but you want to make sure you check in with you first. Because even though my accountability partners are there to talk with me through things or to ask me questions about certain things on my list, I look at that before I even talk to them. So I'm already ready. We have a deal, both of them. If I give an excuse for why something didn't happen, they're to tell me certain things. I can't say them on air because I'm not one who curses. However, there's certain things that they're supposed to say to me because it'll piss me off. And one of them always says, who are you supposed to be? Who are you saying you are? Are you aligned with Rachel L. Gary? That upsets me because I'm a person of integrity. So the conversations that we have and the way they hold me accountable is all structured around the person I am. So for you to tell me I'm a liar, or if you tell me that I'm not living congruent with the person I am, that's calling me a liar. Those things upset me because I take pride in being a person of my word. So if I give myself an excuse of saying, hey, you know, this happened and this happened, this happened. If they start hearing me ramble down those lines, they're going to stop me immediately. I only have people that have love and care in their hearts for me as my accountability partner. This is just me, guys. My circle is small. And the people in that circle have to have a certain level of integrity in themselves. And when I see people in my circle who've lost that level of integrity, slowly but surely we stop being in each other's circle. If I can't trust you and I can't believe you, we can't talk. Because I want you to be able to trust and believe me. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm doing it. If things come up, I'm going to be honest. And I'm not going to give myself an excuse to cop out on Rachel L. Gary. So that's about having those monthly momentum meetings. You're going to celebrate your gains, celebrate all of the things you did successful. Keep tally of what you did successful. Don't keep tally of the things you didn't do well. You're going to work on those weekly. That's your weekly assessment. You're going to knock those out so next week you don't have those same problems. But on your monthly, you should only be talking about your wins. Oh, man. Okay. I was moving. I'm getting that house in 6 months. This is month 5. Okay. Last month, I actually made those phone calls. I actually saved $1,000. I actually went and looked at a couple of neighborhoods. I actually found the neighborhood I think that's going to be ideal for me. I checked the school district if you got kids. Okay. The school district aligns with the plan that I have for my kid. There's a public library close. And that public library has something more than just pure articles in them. They have more than just reference guides. When you are thinking on those pages and thinking on those levels, then when you're thinking like that, then it's easier for you to be aligned because you're thinking of all the wins on the end of the month. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, and all of this is to move me closer to my goals. That's a win. You celebrate. Glass of wine, some champagne, manicure, pedicure, a brand new suit, a shirt, a hat, whatever that is. A fresh cut with a full facial. Men get facials, guys. I don't want y'all to sit here and say they do not. You do. It works. The steam treatments. That's your celebration. So when you're celebrating, when you're checking out your wins and the things that you won, the things of success that you did, and you moved towards your goal and you did 5 things and you made that happen, don't count the 10 things you missed. Because that's not what it's about at the end of the month. At the end of the month, it's about celebrating what you've done to push yourself to do it again in month 5. Because you got a 6-month goal to get a house. And if you're not looking for a house, guys, this works for anything that you want. You want a new business. Month 6. Okay, the 6th month. Okay, I got my EIN. I got my business license with the city. I got my tax papers in order with the city in which I'll be doing business in. I got trademarks. I did IPs for all of my merchandise. All of those things. Because you're running a successful business, those are the things you need to have in line for a successful business. I've already decided I'm going to use Quicken, or I'm going to use Peachtree, or I'm going to use TurboTax, or I'm going to use QuickBooks. I'm going to use this for my accounting software. My website isn't necessary as of yet because I haven't done my business assessment. I haven't gotten my proposals out there to people. I haven't tested the market. So when I'm testing the market in month 6. So this is what you assess at the end of the month. Okay, I did this, and this. You won. Those are wins. You might not have hit all 20 of the things you had on your to-do list, because remember, the to-do list is just busy. But those 10 key things, you hit 5 of those 10 key things. What? That means your business is closer to being successful. Celebrate you. Celebrate your wins. And if somebody tell you can't do it, hey guys, I want y'all to know, as Erica Mason is about to jump in and say, do it anyway. So stay locked in to Wake Up CEO on My Radio Chicago. Support District Radio. Go to www.supportdistrictradio.com/stations/Chicago to take us on the go, because there's some great opportunities and great information that happens right here on My Radio Chicago. So we're going to let Erica Mason come chime in. Do it anyway.
Love is the language and the frequency that continues to grow and expand all consciousness. Peace.
Affirmations daily, you should join in. Love is the vibe and we own it. You know, like, sometimes you just gotta stop caring about, like, what everybody else think and just live your life, you know? Look, if you ain't failed a couple times, you ain't ready for this. I don't crumble under pressure, I go heavy with this. Driving straight to the hole, I don't need no assist. If all I got is one shot, you know I ain't gonna miss. I never take a hater serious, I'm petty with this. Never been the type to fall down, shadow the fence. And yeah, I might lose it all, I get it right back quick. I'm like a walking casino, cause I'ma take that risk. I ain't scared of nothing but the old version of me. I'm fired up, boy, I love the cold version of me. I love the way I took the pain and now it's working for me. I'm coming back for everything that was taken from me. Hey, what you thought this was? I'm like the little engine that could. They love my drive, they just wanna know what's under the hood. I wish you would try to stop me, you gon' get what you deserve. I'll show you how to take it from the bottom to the first, yeah. I know they try to say you can't, but do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, but that's alright. I don't care what people think, do it anyway. I know they try to say you can't, do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, but that's alright. Won't care what people think, do it anyway. Remember when they said I couldn't, now they ask me how I do it. When you really know you got it, you ain't never gotta prove it. When you started from the bottom, you ain't never scared of losing. Everything all on God, that's the only way I do it. Scared of what? Scared of who? Boy, I been had the juice. With an extra side of sauce, boy, I been had ragu. Baby, I got so much flavor in the pain, it's a seasoning. Promise I'ma get it, it don't matter the season. I do it any day, every day. I'ma get it in every way. No, they try to say that I can't, but I still do it anyway. I don't care what they're gonna say, I don't care what they're gonna think. When you out here chasing dreams, you don't care if people sleep. Wake them up when I speak, it's just a matter of time. And everything for me is just a matter of mind. I got audacity and confidence, a deadly combination. Yeah, I hear them talking, I just call it admiration. I know they try to say you can't, but do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, so that's alright. Won't care what people think, do it anyway. I know they try to say you can't, do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, so that's alright. Won't care what people think, do it anyway. Yeah, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. No, they try to say you can't, do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, but that's alright. We don't care about what they say, do it anyway.
Love is the language and the frequency that continues to grow and expand all consciousness. Peace.
Affirmations daily, you should join in. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency.
You amazing, you should say it, you so powerful. You got us, you got love, you got life in you. You got peace, you got joy, you got gratitude. You don't stress, you manifest, trying to make a move. But life need change, I can make you wish. Stop believing in yourself, cause some haters did. It's all on you to create the vision. Let's go past the sky, I hate the shit. I am a God, you are a God, it's just a peace party, we all vibe. Had to go inside to get out my body, with this guy energy all on my body.
God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. Affirmations daily, you should join it. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency.
You can feel the vibe, I word on me. Every day, Grand Rise, ain't nobody wanna. You can change it all. This life is yours. When you with the spirit, you ain't never bored. Sitting on blessings, all I gotta do is manifest. The universe speak to my soul, I feel a presence. Know you are and take control of where you head. I say, peace to the guys and the goddess on the planet. I meditate on the daily. This type of peace is amazing. You are a carbon, baby. Let's raise the vibration.
God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. Affirmations daily, you should join it. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, you feel the frequency.
All right. And we're back to Wake Up CEO with your host, Rachel L. Gary. And we are now at the Distinguished Authors Guild Authors Corner, where Distinguished Author Guild, where your literary excellence is celebrated. So the Authors Corner book of the day is The Gap in the Game by Dan Sullivan. My 3 takeaways from this book: measure backwards, not forward. Track wins against where you started. Momentum lives in the gain, not the gap. 2, turn ideals into indicators. Convert big visions into daily scorecards. Clarity kills overwhelm. 3, positive progress loop. Recognize progress, fuel belief. Belief fuels bigger, clearer actions. So those were my 3 takeaways from The Gap in the Game by Dan Sullivan. I will have those that will be made available to you guys on Wake Up CEO, hosted by Rachel L. Gary. If you go to that page, and you can go ahead and download the link to that book. Great book, great information that was inside of the book that allowed me to find success on my journey. Remember that the Distinguished Authors Guild, the books in Authors Corner are from my personal library of books that I've actually read, took in information that I have utilized towards building the best version of the CEO that's in me. And I provide the information for these books in hopes that it allows you to get the information that will allow you to find success in your CEO life. And now we're going to dive into the ownership piece, guys. Y'all know what it is. You know what it is. We are leading your growth to fund your future. You know this. This is what it's about. You own it. Money mirrors mastery. All right, guys. What does that mean? When you are a master. Now, I'm going to take you guys back. This is going to age me a little bit. The Last Dragon, when Bruce Leroy was in the water, and Shonuff was asking him, who's the master? Who's the master? And he said, I am. When he stepped into owning that he was the master, that's when he was able to defeat Shonuff. Now I'm going to bring it to something that's a little more current. Hey, I had to age myself a little bit. I saw that movie when it first came out in a drive-thru. That's how, with Weird Science. That's how long ago. I remember going to see it. And how about in The Matrix? You remember when Morpheus was training Neo? When he was training him, he was just a mediocre fighter. Morpheus was still winning. Neo was not winning the battles. But the second Neo stepped in to being the one, when he stepped into being the one, That's when he found success. Now that power is in all of us. So when you become the master of you, that's when financial gain comes. Skill up with one high value competency each quarter. Expertise attracts income. I want that to sink in. When you are a master, your income doubles, triples, and quadruples. Most of you guys are not new to Wake Up CEO. So you've heard my story of starting off my career with $7 an hour. And in 14 months, I went 5 times to 6 times my salary at that point in time. In 14 months, when I mastered me. This is not about mastering someone else, getting someone else to do something you want them to do, or them, the boss seeing you differently. When you show up differently for yourself, I'm going to tell you, it's all automatic. It automatically aligns with you as you show up and step into the best version of you. So that one skill. So let's say that you are really good with money. And I don't mean spending it, CEOs. I don't mean spending the money. I mean really good with balancing a checkbook or balancing an account, putting money aside for certain projects. You're really good at that. That's a skill. I want to tell you guys, I was making $150,000. I was broke. Cash wise, I was broke. I spent my money when I got it. Before I got paid, I'm getting paid. I think it was like we were getting paid weekly, like $2,200 a week. I'm getting $2,200 a week, and I'm broke every weekend. Now my rent wasn't high. I wasn't living expensively. I just spent a lot of money on nothing. Because I was getting paid weekly. I was a supervisor getting paid weekly. I was like, yeah. I mean, I can go do this. I can go do this. I'm going to get paid next week. My bank account was at negatives. I was getting overdraft fees, making $2,200 a week. I don't mind telling you guys my pitfalls because those are lessons I learned. You learn from we only doing 2 things on Wake Up CEO. We winning or learning. Those were lessons I had to learn. $8,800 a month, and I didn't have $200 in my bank account. I don't mean $2,200 before taxes. I mean $2,200 take home pay, which means I was living way above my means. I'm going out every week. I'm eating 7 days a week, going to takeout restaurants. I'm going to do this. We're hanging out. Kids need something. I'm buying this, doing this. Every game system they got. They want this, they want that. Okay, y'all got it. The reason why I tell the story is that having more money didn't bring me closer to financial security or financial freedom. Because I hadn't fixed or got more in tune with myself, that was money wasted. That's how I saw it then. How I see it now, it was an expensive lesson to learn. And I don't mind that I learned the lesson, because the lesson taught me that to be financially secure, I must understand what is needed, necessary, and growing me. Needed, necessary, and growing. What were my goals, my needs now? What was necessary for my life? And what did I need to grow? Those are questions you ask yourself when you are able to look in the mirror and you're going to master your money. You're going to become the Neo of your life. You have to build a routine, revenue task, routinize your life. Block non-negotiable time for prospecting, pitching, or product creation daily. We high leveling it, guys. This is how we level up. When you own, you can level up. When you block non-negotiable time, I am on do not disturb from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Every single day, my phone is on do not disturb. I wake up between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. But from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., that's my circle of genius. I'm a morning person. My brain is firing on all cylinders early in the day. So I do all my meaningful work first thing in the morning. I set the tone for my day first thing in the AM. And that allows me to find the success on another page because I am taking the time to do so. But you have to determine when is the best time for you to block time. Like when we were talking about in being clear and when you're being empowered, you're giving yourself that hour. Now in ownership, we're blocking strategic hours. And in that hour, we're doing time for prospecting, pitching, or product creation daily. Now, let me tell you, I'm give you insight on what I do first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, I do my moment of affirmation. I do my moment of gratitude. And from there, then I go to 2 groups and I set myself up for a podcast or a radio show or TV appearance. Every day, I pitch 5 different podcasts daily, 5 a day. Sometimes all 5 planned out and I put them strategically on my calendar, or sometimes maybe one will say yes. But I am pitching 5 different ones. Podcast, radio, or TV. Daily. So I have some people call it a pitch deck. So I have a pitch deck, then I have a pitch email. The pitch deck includes slides of my work, things that I've done, people's lives I've helped, testimonies from individuals, testimonies from former employers, all types of things. Because as I say, guys, I am who I say I am inside as well as out. So that's what I do first thing in the morning. So I do my 5 pitches. So I do 10 a day. So I'm going to tell you about my end of day as well. This is just so I give you some sort of picture of how you can structure your day. Now, yours might not work like mine. And each of us are going to have different tasks, different goals, different things that we're looking to do in our lives. And it's okay. That's what we're looking to do. That's fine. That's great. Because to be the best version of you've got to figure out what's going to work for your life, not mirror mine. But when I'm doing my routines, this is a routine. So I do my 5 pitches. Then I go to five groups. Excuse me, my apologies. Then I do 20 posts of empowerment a day in 20 groups. Every single day. A message of empowerment. I'm a leadership coach, guys. That's what I do. I want people to find the best version of themselves. So that's what I do in the morning. At the end of my day, I assess, my apologies, I missed something. I also write down 3 things I plan to accomplish on today. Those don't include those 2 things that I said because those are part of my everyday routine. So I had 3 things that I plan to accomplish today. At the end of the day, I assess, did I accomplish them? I'm big on a daily assessment. That's me. For me, if it's a week out, I can't correct it. So for me, I try to assess myself daily. So I can immediately, because I am a person who has some form of ADHD, who will get off track, who will have a whole conversation about things that have nothing to do with a goal, or I'm being empathetic and I'm talking to somebody for hours about a problem they're having that I'm just listening to, that I don't plan to give them a solution to, that I'm just listening. And that aligns with who I am. So that's okay. But I'm not going to speak to that person who I know I'm going to talk to for hours on the phone more than one day a week. Now, I'll tell you, my mentor and I, we could get on the phone. We had one day, my mentor, Dr. Carolyn Stevens, we were on the phone for 7 hours. We accomplished a lot of things in that 7 hours, but I didn't talk to Dr. Stevens for another 2 weeks. Not because I don't want to talk with her, but because I know that our conversations will veer down a longer path. She'll do the same for me. Because our time is valuable to our overall goals. So as I said, at the end of the evening, I assess, did I get through my 3 things for the day? I look and see if anyone responded to those 15 requests. And then I have my moment of reflection. And then I prepare for the end of my night. So I give myself twice a day to make sure I'm aligned with who I want to be. Because to me, I'm playing on a higher level. I'm playing in a level of millions of dollars. I'm playing in an area of mentees that I am coaching. I'm playing an area of growth that I am getting for myself. So when I'm talking to my mentees, I'm able to provide them the information that will help them find success. So to me, when you're playing on that level, you have to make sure that you are assessing yourself on that level. And sometimes we get lost in that. Because I'm not comparing myself to someone else. I don't want you to compare. This is a routine of your making. You can take some suggestions from other people in the very beginning, because if you're new to doing it, it becomes a little difficult to assess how to write this stuff up. I will, and starting in July. So next time when I want Wake Up CEO, I will be offering 7-day challenges that will be out there. We'll be having 4 7-day challenges a month. Yes, we will be chiming in. We will have we'll have a 7-day challenge a month. So there'll be 4 different types of 7-day challenges. And we will be having morning affirmations that will come directly to your phone or directly to your email. You can sign up for those starting next week. Because with information comes a roadmap to help you find your success. If someone's bringing information without giving you tools, that doesn't work. I'm big on giving you tools for success. There's a reason I wrote the 2 books. So invest gains, not feelings. This is the gut shot, guys. Direct every extra dollar to assess first. Let discipline growth finance your lifestyle. Upgrade later. You need to first assess. So if the bills that you must have, your rent or your mortgage, your lights, your gas, your internet, your phone, your car note, your gas, your food, must-haves. You must eat. You must get you back and forth to where you're going. Now, when you get through all of those things, then you start assessing how much extra you have. And that's how you decide to invest in things that are coming up for you. Now, why did I give that bit of information for investment? For your growth, there needs to be some form of investment. There are mastermind groups on things like Meetup. There are Facebook mastermind groups. Some of them cost a little bit of money. Some of them cost a little bit of time, where you have to go to the events. You have to spend a little money at those events. As you're looking to grow, start getting in a circle of individuals that are looking to grow as well, or are growing already. Being in proximity to another individual who has success brings success your way. Hey, I'm gonna make a statement that I know everybody's heard. You are a sum of the 5 people that you hang around the most. If you spend 5 of your days, 5 out of 7 of your days with the same 2 individuals, how close are your lives to each other? Do you go to the same places? Do you drink some of the same drinks? This coffee, juice, actual alcohol, whatever that is. Do you have the same taste in things? Because we gravitate towards people that are like. That's comfort. When you're looking to grow, you have to step into a circle of people that are nothing like where you are currently, but they're like where you want to be. So when you're looking to grow, you have to start investing in your growth. The investment, as I said in the beginning, is going to come back to you tenfold. I invested in a $350 plan in 2004. January in 2004. I can be specific. I had $352 on my credit card. I swiped, gave my credit card number because there was no swipe. Gave my credit card number to the representative over the phone for $350 training course for leaders. It was a leadership course. I wanted to be in a room of people who were already leaders or people who had grown leaders. I went to the event. It was a 2-day event, 2-day event. Plus they had some online stuff that they gave us. I read all of the material. I listened to all of the videos. I started staying focused. 7 months later, I was promoted the first time. 3 months later, I was promoted again. 6 months later, I was promoted again. Because now this is the part I haven't told. When I was in the room with those people, there were some people in that room that were already in supervisory roles, manager roles, senior managers roles, VP roles, CEOs, chief executive officer roles. I want to specify. They were already in those type of roles. They were all in the room because they were trying to build their leadership skills. So when we were on our breaks, our meetings, I would ask questions. One of those people I met in that meeting, about 6 or 7 years later, I end up working for his company. Now, when him and I first met, I was at that point, I was making $7 an hour. I had no idea what direction I wanted my life to go in. I just wanted a better life. I wanted to get off my sister-in-law's couch and have a better life. So when I was there, I didn't have a clear understanding of who I was and what I wanted. I was gaining that knowledge. I was growing. But I was okay being uncomfortable so I could grow. So him and I, we talked. In that conference, I took many people's business cards. Right now I have a stack of business cards, people that I meet all the time. And I reached out. So what I did, like monthly, I would reach out. We started a little group chat. Now, I was group chatting with VPs, supervisors, and CEOs. I would ask them a question in a group. One of them would answer. So as I was growing, I want you guys to catch what I'm dropping. Because when I was in those classes, I was not even a lead yet. I was just still a material handler making $7 an hour that wanted a better life and a better future for my kids. I didn't ask them how to get a better life, how to get a better future. I asked them about like their habits. Did they have any books that they could refer me to? One of the guys said, I never read. I listen to tapes. This is when tapes and CDs were still popular. Let's jump into the chat. We have some people in the chat. Hold on. Okay, they said success was for the lucky, for the well-connected, for the ones who had it all figured out. If you ever felt stuck, if you ever wondered, how do I get out of this? This book is your blueprint. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So they're talking about hashtag poverty to six figures. Thank you. Big events, bold brands, unforgettable vibes. Nobody moves Chicago like Cherie Sloan. Promo for highly productive Chicago. So from parties to promos, she turns visions into sold out success. Ready to elevate your brand? Tap in highlyproductivechicago.com. So as I'm having a conversation with you guys, in that room, I met some people who dropped information that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And while they were dropping that information, I was learning. They dropped the information. One of the guys was a big reader. One of the guys had a whole lot of tapes he had. So he shipped me 5 tapes for Les Brown. So I had the tapes I had a tape in my player every day. For 10 years, 1 hour a day, I listened to Les Brown for 10 years to fill myself with positivity. This is how uncomfortable I was, guys. I was making $7 an hour, working 12 hours a day. We got time for us. We got time for the future us. But for the future us, it takes the present us to understand that to have the future life we need, we desire, we dream, we must plan today. Because tomorrow when you wake up, whatever happened tomorrow, it started with what you did yesterday, the day before, and today. Whatever happens on Friday is going to be what comes from what happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and before that. You're not going to show up on a success's doorstep. That's not how it works. You're going to be clear about what you're going to do. So we're going to go back to the clarity piece. The clarity piece. You're going to define your wins, plan, be accountable. That's you being clear. Empower. You're going to have daily micro wins. Check in with you. Weekly self-audits where you audit your week's progress. Monthly momentum meetings where you're thinking and celebrating your wins. And for the ownership piece, money's gonna mirror the mastery that you're gonna do. You're gonna become the master of one thing in your life. And when you become the master of that one thing will propel you forward. To be a master, you must study. And I don't mean you don't have to just grab a book. It can be a podcast. It can be other people who are doing doing the thing that you want to do. If you're looking to sell handbags, if you're looking to do drug screening, I mean, I've heard all about all of the things for the get rich quick schemes. But I'm gonna use something that I just heard, and I'm gonna give you guys the steps from what I heard. Currently, there's a course that's going around that the course for I think $800. It teaches you how to do drug samples, do fingerprints. These are two things that are and notary. They give you these three things. Now, these three things are in high demand. Now, with that high demand, so remember we said notary, fingerprints, drug samples. Great. Those are in high demand. And with the high demand, so they're giving you all the information on how the certifications for those three programs. What they're not giving in there is the business aspect, but that's okay. We're not going to talk about that. So the business aspect. Now, let me explain the $5 win, the $5 win. Well, the $20 win, because it starts off with like $20, $25 per person. Okay, $25 win. You take the hair sample, you take the fingerprint, you do a notary job. Notary jobs run from like 50 to 150 per time, per signature. Well, per set of documents, my apology, per set of documents. The drug screening runs about $100 to $175 per screen. Fingerprints, it depends on where you do the fingerprints. They run from $40 to $100 per set of fingerprints. So if you're able to land a client, now I want you to catch this real quick, and then we're going to jump into the leadership 3-point play. First, you have to know how to market those things. You getting the certificate you get the certificate to do all three of the things. If you don't know how to market your business, you now got a certificate in three lucrative businesses. So the reason why I'm saying these things is because you have to master something. So let's say you're going to get someone to market for you. You're going to market on social media. And I want you guys to take this part in mind. When we're marketing on social media, if you're a person who skips ads, your ad, if you place one, is one that might get skipped. I'm only putting these out here so I can get to the point. The point is this. You have to master one of the things. So let's say you're gonna do a notary public. You're going to be a notary. So you're going to say, I'm going to be a notary. I'm going to look for clients. Now, this is a business play. I'm going to be a notary and post in places where other notaries are. Because that's what most likely the company's going to give you a directory of places where you can post that you're a notary. Now, remember, guys, I haven't taken the course. I haven't even looked up the information. I'm just very acclimated with business and how business runs. So you get into a directory where notaries are. If they find a notary, if they're looking for a notary in the area or a traveling notary, who makes a little bit more money, okay. Or, so if you are a higher level thinker, you're going to try to land a contract with someone who always needs a notary, like a loan officer, or a realty company, or a refinance company. You're going to have a contract with them to be their one and only notary in this particular area. Or, we'll keep listening, or you're going to set up a business that hires out notaries to these same companies. You're going to have larger contracts, regional contracts. And these notaries, then there's going to be notaries like yourself who have the same certificate that are going to be working with you. Those are three different steps when you learn to master what you're doing. So you could be making $20 or $50 to $100, $100 to $1,000, or $10,000 to $100,000 a month. It's all about who you're stepping into when you are mastering those techniques. So I want that to sit with you guys. So in anything that you're doing, you want to decide if you want to be the person who's $25 who's doing the work. Do you want to be the person who's making $100 who sets up a program for the work? Or do you want to be somebody who's making $1,000 who's allowing other people to have an opportunity to get the work? When you master who you are and master where you're trying to go, those are three different conversations. And conversation 1 or 2 won't even be appealing to you when you're at level 3. But the cost is you being aligned with you. The cost is you reaching for the gold. And the gold lies inside of you. So we're going to jump into my favorite part of the show. That leadership 3-point play that's powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. Play 1. Use daily self-check-ins to ensure your habits align with your intentions. Action step. Each morning, ask yourself, is what I'm doing today going to move me closer to the version of me I said I wanted to be? Play 2. Give yourself permission to adjust and ask for help. Identify one area where you've been silent but struggle, and make a call, send a message, or raise your hand. Closed mouths don't get fed. Play 3. Build your vision with the resources you have right now. List the tools, the talents, and the connections you already have in your possession, and put one of those to use this week towards the next version of the CEO that is you. That is the leadership 3-point play that was powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. Hey guys, you know, when we get to the end of the day, end of the show, I am always extremely excited and energized for the fact that we have laid down some clear information, some empowered decisions, and talk to some owners of their CEO lives. So I want you guys to stay locked in right here every Wednesday between 3 and 5 p.m. from Wake Up CEO on My Radio Chicago, where I'm a part of Support District Radio. And to take us all on the go, you want to go to Support District Radio, www.supportdistrictradio.com/stations/Chicago to make sure that when you can't watch me live, you're still able to take it on the go to get this information that I guarantee that if you take to heart, if you guys did not get every step, you can go to YouTube and rewind this video, and the part that you missed, you can go ahead and get that written down. Because at the end of the day, success only comes as you step into the best version of you. My final thoughts of the day. Goals, goals, goals. Goals don't grow just because you set them. They require constant nurturing, check-ins, and brave adjustment. Don't abandon your goals when it gets uncomfortable. That's usually where your breakthrough lies. And until next week, CEOs, I want nothing but the greatness for you. So I want you guys to be up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You CEOs. See you next week right here on Wake Up CEO. And we're going to let Winner's Creed play out. You guys have a great day.
Manifest your dreams.
Every day is a blessing. I'll win, I don't never lose. I'll win, I don't never lose. I'll win, I don't never lose. I'll win, I'll win, I'll win, I don't never lose. I'll win, I don't never lose. I don't lose, I don't lesson. Every day is a blessing. Yeah, I'm consistently in my my prime. I'm thriving and feeling fine. Embodiment of divine. Self-concept rich. Winning energy and I flaunt it. Succeeding on my journey and I'm loving it. Cause I'm a right now and I'm still up next. Discerning and wise, I know how to move. Abundant options, I know which to choose. Daily progression, I always improve. I live life as a winner, so I never lose. That's positive, life is what I receive. I do my best and let things unfold gloriously. Romanticizing every day and I'm loving on me. I'm grateful, I'm winning and my life's heavenly. Yeah.
I win, I don't never lose. I win, I don't never lose. I win, I don't never lose. I win, I win, I win, I don't never lose. I win, I don't never lose. I don't lose, I don't last it. Every day is a blessing. I win, I don't never lose. I win, I don't never lose. I win, I don't never lose. I win, I win, I win, I don't never lose. I win, I don't never lose. I don't lose, I don't last it. Every day is a blessing.
Prison T affirmation guys, pushing P off the right way, elevate subconscious mind, all despite what they might say. I win, I don't never lose, habitual positive thinking. I've learned to always choose the positive side of my thinking.
First I heal myself, I started off the right way. Now I'm healing others despite what they might say. I'm a world changer, that's a guarantee. Create what I speak, now I NYD.
Do you feel stuck? Like your dreams are just out of reach? It's time to change that narrative. Use life's setbacks to fuel the fire within. I'll walk you through the exact steps I took to move from $7 an hour to multiple six-figure success. The roadmap includes practical strategies, real-world mindset shifts, and the habits that help me rise against the odds. Welcome to #Poverty to Six Figures, a journey that goes beyond just financial success. This is about breaking free from the cycle and claiming your desires, transforming your life, unlocking your potential, and finally living the life you deserve. Get your copy today and start your journey towards financial freedom. Are you ready?
6 figures couldn't change my mind.